Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite Goth Kids, hosted by me, your boy Adam.
And me, your girl Ashley.
Sorry.
We can't already stay all
I know,
laughing.
I'm sorry. Okay.
It's a crazy night,
I
that's
know.
why.
We had to redo this intro because I messed up. But yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. This is gonna be the second part to our meeting drama.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was so much we wanted to talk about in the last episode, but that thing would have turned out to be like 3 hours.
Yeah, and it was already 12.
Yeah, and Ashley had to work the next day.
Yeah, I was like, baby, we gotta go.
You're like, you need to go home.
Yeah.
Okay, so continuing. I think we finished, because again, just so we don't have to continue to repeat ourselves, again, we're going to be bleeping out a lot of the names, you know? Rest in peace again to my editing.
Yeah, and then again, another disclaimer from the first one.
Oh, yeah. That
this is just stories that we've heard, that we've been told,
mm-hmm.
and that we're repeating.
Mm-hmm.
And if it feels like it's probably targeted to you, it's because probably it's you.
It's probably you.
But, like, again, like, this is just something that we're saying. We're making, like, shits and giggles. If you don't like it, well, then you can always sign off.
Well, then you could tell somebody who cares. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, mine, because we kind of ended on the last one, I believe, with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, the other tea that I have, not with her, but it was... Oh, wait, or we ended off with, like... Yeah, it was
with her.
I think the thing that came to my mind that night was that when her sister, her husband, which I'm gonna say right now, if he's listening, need you.
Religiously. Like, no, like, genuinely, this man since day one has been so fine.
This fool was like, he's what, like 6'1", 6'2", like he's tall. Well, for me, he was tall because I'm always short.
He's taller than me, so he has to be over 6'1". I think he might be 6'2".
6'2"?
Yeah, he's pretty tall.
Well, either way, he's tall, he's brown, he's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Just come to me.
Just nerdy in a sexy smolder way, because he has like glasses. I'm like describing him. He has glasses. He's like a little bit like, well, obviously he's older than me.
Yeah. But
you could just like, he just looks so young and full of life and just
strong, young, and full of cum.
Yeah. Wow, where can I sign up though? Because I also want to be filled with his cum. Baby, I can give you what you need.
Oh, I know. Because the story I'm trying to get to is that all I know is that he cheated on her.
Mm-hmm.
And the point I'm trying to get to is that, baby, if you had me, you wouldn't have to cheat.
You didn't have to cheat.
Because I would give it to you every night.
But you have to explain why you cheated, though.
Well, as far as I don't... Wait, do you know?
I know.
Hello, can I speak again? The only things that I know is that he cheated on her. People have speculations because, like, she was kind of, like, withholding.
Mm-hmm.
And that she knew because, like, she would come home and she would find her hairs in the bed. And, like, he would pretend that was his friend and he would invite her over to the house, like, to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, there's no way you're hanging out with this mistress. But that's all Well, okay. Because I heard two separate ones. Mm-hmm. I heard at first what I heard was he was cheating on her with porn.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I thought it was, and then everybody was like, no, like he for real cheated on her. But that's all I know. Yeah.
So a little bit from her, like, yeah, his wife. They're like polar opposites. Like
mm-hmm.
He's like so like full of life. He just seemed really like, she's a nice girl too. But the thing is, what she didn't seem like she was nice to her husband, really.
No, because I really knew her, and the thing with her is that she was that typical Christian that had like that superiority complex of like holier than thou. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so she was just a nice person, but I guess like her husband, she wasn't too nice. And that's what I heard. Like, I had heard that like he just didn't, like, she didn't want to give it up anymore. Like, she just didn't really care. And I was like, baby, your husband is so fine. Like, I would never get tired of that face.
No,
like, he was gorgeous. And, like, that he was cheating on her with porn. That's the one that I heard, right? Mm-hmm. That he was cheating on her with porn. And I was like, what kind of porn? And I was like, let me know. Because I can fulfill your fantasies. And that she had found him. And that he got, like, he got like, and what we call it is like censurado, which is kind of like banned almost from like talking to other people basically in the congregation and like to work on yourself. No,
well, what censurado is that like you can still talk to people, but I think like you can't go preaching and you can't comment.
Oh,
like they take certain like.
I thought you couldn't couldn't talk to people. Like the minute that you're any of that, you can't talk to people.
Well, as far as I know, I know once you're disfellowshipped, yeah, you can't talk to anybody. But once you're censurado, I mean, yeah, you kind of have to back away a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But like I know the main thing is that like you can't comment in the meeting and you can't go out preaching.
Yeah, and he got like a lot of his privileges taken away because even though he was young, he was a good Christian, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like they gave him a lot of good privileges, so he took that away immediately, and he moved congregations with his wife to like, you know, like take the thing away. Then I had told that story to somebody else and she was like, well, tea on that. She was like, I don't think it was porn. She was like, I think people were saying that it was an actual person. And I was like, it wasn't me. I was like, who was it?
Oh my
like
God.
I need to know. I never found out who the girl was, but I'm just like,
yeah.
I need to know who this girl is. Like,
because I need you to tell me if he's good or not.
I no, forget if he's good or not. If you're enough to tempt him, what do you look like? I'm gonna follow you exactly what you look like.
No, but I also want to know, like, was he good?
Mm-hmm.
Did he taste good? Was it big?
Was he given inches?
Was he giving inches or girl?
Oh my God.
So if you're listening, hit my line.
It's always open, baby.
It is always open for you, girl.
It is always open. And then it took a while for him to come back. I had seen him like after like that scandal had come out, like maybe like a year, and he was still in an English meeting, because he was in the Spanish congregation and he went to an English one afterwards, and I saw him and he just didn't look the same anymore. Like it looked like he had lost his spark.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's okay, baby, come here.
I'll give you that spark.
Like I would forgive whatever you did to me. Like just give me a chance.
God. Just come home to me.
And his wife still looks pretty bitter. Like you could just
Well, she was bitter to
begin with. That's what I'm saying. Like, and imagine that. Like, okay, obviously, like, and all jokes aside, nobody wants that to happen, right? Like you're married, you like, you know, like porn is just like whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like people make it seem like it's so bad, but it's like whatever, right? I mean, unless you're addicted to it, then baby, back on, take the internet away. But
For
like.
real.
In all reality, nobody ever wants to hear that somebody that you're supposed to be like loyal to is like cheating on you.
Mm-hmm.
So like I can only imagine her pain because I know what that felt like, not being married but like being cheated on.
Yeah,
like
I get that.
it hurts. So you're like, am I not enough? So I just know that her self-esteem, even though she has such a hard shell, I guarantee you that crushed her so hard.
Well, I mean, that's where I'm like in between, because if she was acting like that, where she was like, I'm not gonna give you anything. This may be very controversial for me to say, but I'm like, you kind of asked for it.
A little, yeah. I mean, even like I'm gonna bust out that one thing where it says in the Bible, like, women satisfy your men, and she was not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so obviously he was gonna go find that elsewhere. He's young. He's like, he's not in his prime, but he's still young. He's an attractive young man.
Oh no, baby. To me, he will always be in his prime.
But he's still like, he's delicious. Like, of course somebody would want to snatch that up, and it's so quick for it to happen too. So I don't blame him. He was like, and he, like, if you really met him, like, he's such an amazing guy.
Dude, he was so genuinely cool and so nice and so easy to get along with.
That's why I'm saying, like, imagine, like, this poor fella was literally trying so hard to, like, love his wife, and his wife just wouldn't have any of it. Like, of course, like, and I can only imagine how hard it was for him to, like, I mean, not trying to be like, oh my God, how hard it was for him to deal with it. But, like, imagine he loved his wife and, like, he was just really down bad.
Yeah.
And that happened, so.
You should have been down bad with me.
Right, like, where was I? Where were we?
Where were we?
Where did this happen and how and when? Like, take me a time machine and baby, I'll be there.
I'll be there.
I'll be there immediately.
I'll be there with a trench
coat. Can I just watch? Like.
Oh. I'll be there with a trench coat and nothing underneath.
Oh, it's a little cold outside.
But did it happen during the winter?
I have no idea.
Oh.
No clue. Girl, okay. Well, I say I'm FBI, but whoa. That's
but not that much.
Because I never found out who it was.
I know, yeah.
So.
And I haven't seen him for years.
Oh,
dude,
I haven't seen him in years either, but I know he's still a Jehovah's Witness, and I'm just like interested.
I think the last time I saw him was like maybe around like.
It was before COVID.
Like, was it?
Last time I saw him, it was before COVID.
Maybe for me it was like 2014, 2016.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't seen him for years.
Almost a decade.
Yeah, I've been seeing him for a while.
Wow. No, the last time I saw him was like 2019. Maybe 2020. Maybe question mark.
I've been seeing him forever.
Trust me, he still looks delicious.
And
like he doesn't have any like social media really like his wife does, and I'm like, baby, I don't want your updates.
I know. Maybe he deleted it, but I knew he had an Instagram.
He had one, but I don't know if he still has one. I've never seen it. I've never come across it. I come across his wives all the time.
Oh, do you?
Oh, but no, you know what? I've seen posts of him though, because we're gonna have to bleep out her name. Do you remember her?
Oh yeah.
She posts them all the time.
Really?
That they're still married, apparently too. So yeah, you don't follow Marlene? Excuse me.
Girl, why would she follow me?
I have no idea.
The stuff I post?
Why would she follow me?
Really?
Yeah, she follows me.
Well, I mean, because you don't post anything.
I don't.
Yeah, and me, yeah, she would report me.
To the church immediately.
Exactly, to the Vatican.
That was a good one. I forgot about that one. That was a good one. I like that one. That was a little sad though. I mean, but sadly, a lot of people cheat. Like, it's like one of the biggest scandals is like cheating, and then like it's like, you know. So mine is also about a guy, but he wasn't married. So this guy, let's say that he's had issues in the past, like for a while. Like he's been a troublemaker for a good minute. So he's this like older dude that like when I first started hearing about him, I heard from him from one of my family members, a cousin of mine, and she was really young, and he was like trying to go after her hard, and she was a minor. And grant you, this man is a grown man, and everybody always thought it was weird that he was trying to hang out with like younger girls and whatnot. So I had heard stuff like that, like he was just trying to get at like younger girls, and he was already an adult, blah 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 blah. Well, long story short, run like a couple years later, and like he hits me up one day, and he's like, hey, would you like to come over to like a pool party? And I was like, well, we're not even friends like that, but sure, like who's gonna be there, right? And he was like, oh, nobody, it would just be me and you. And I was like, oh no.
Wait, who is this? I had a feeling.
Yeah, him. So I was like, oh no, baby. I didn't say anything to anybody, and I was like, yeah, that's not. Fast forward another year, right? Still whispers about the same thing, like he's just trying to get.
No, go back to that. It was just gonna be you two?
Yeah, it was just gonna be me and him.
And what did you tell him? Like,
I told him no. I was like, yeah, no, thank you. And then that's it. And he still has me on Snapchat.
Does he?
Yeah, I like to follow him just to see what he's up to. So fast forward a couple years later, like a year later after that, and still the same rumor is that he's trying to catcall. He had. Do you remember? We're gonna have to play by her name. Do you remember? Is that her name? Yeah, the one who married her baby daddy. Like, together, whatever. Yeah. So he was trying to get at her. Finally, somebody who was age appropriate, and I think from what I heard is that they started dating, but he just like she wasn't really about that life, like with him at least, because she likes also younger. But we're not gonna talk about that. So like they kind of like wanted to talk for a little bit, and like it didn't happen. So. Just like fun little interesting fact, I live in a neighborhood where you just never know what's gonna happen. So my front door neighbor started seeing a guy, and obviously like I don't really care about that because that's not my business, that's not my life. She's just my front door neighbor. Turns out it's this guy, and we see him one of these days come out to confirm it because we were like, no, it's not him, it can't be him. He comes out one day in a red bathrobe. You can imagine that there's nothing underneath. And we like lock eyes, and I'm like, oh my god, it's this dude. He's sleeping with my neighbor, and he stays there all the time. He has his mom's car, by the way, because my mom is like, that's his mom's car, by the way, did you know that? I was like, no. He's like, yeah, he uses his mom's car, and he uses his mom's car to come here, comes out in this red bathrobe, he sleeps over there. And I'm like, oh, apparently he's dating this neighbor. And I was like, oh, absolutely not. But he's not like a good, like, well, he wasn't like, I don't know if he was ever baptized or whatnot.
I don't know.
But before this happened, well, I think he was baptized. But before, sorry, I skipped the main part too, where he, like, because my neighbor is really young. Like, she's like probably like 19, 20. She's not that much older than me. Or she's like probably the same age as me. But before that, so he did get, like, he got expulsado, because he slept with a 15-year-old girl as an adult.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
He slept with a 15-year-old girl. And of course the girl got in trouble, and they just like were like, well, he's a guy, what can we do about it?
Really?
Yeah, basically, because I don't think he was baptized or whatever, but they did like shun him away, and I don't think he ever came back to the meetings after that. But he slept with a 15-year-old girl. She was like 15, 14, something like that.
Yeah, because he picked her up from school, no?
Yeah, he picked her up from school, and he was like, baby, let's fake. Oh, God. I remember those good old days. I was like, no.
Stop.
I was like, oh, my God. And who told me? I was like, I believe this source. And, like, I had been told by other hermanos, they're like, well, be careful. Like, he slept with this minor girl. And I was like, girl, I don't even know him like that. And I was like, that's kind of insane. Like, nobody wanted to put a halt to that?
No, and then like, he always gave me weird energy, and then like, nobody wanted to be his friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is like the biggest red flag out there, that like, you want to be, like, he was another one of, again, we're going to have to bleep out names, but I feel like he was another.
Yeah.
Where like, he tried really hard, like, he was too much of a tryhard.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, no, dude, like, we hate you.
Like,
no,
yeah, nobody wanted to be his friend. Like, people had tried, but they could tell that he was creepy. Like, he's just trying to get after your younger sister.
No, I know, and then like, I was trying to be nice to him, but he was very weird, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to hang out with you.
Yeah, he's weird, and he's just, yeah, it was
the only tea I have about him was one time, it was me, him, and because he wanted us to go with him to go find like a suit for the assembly. So I was like, okay, fine, yeah, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
After that one time that they hung out, she sent me the screenshots that he hit her up confessing his feelings, and she was like, yeah, dude, no, like, that's a little inappropriate. And she told me days after, and I was like, that makes so much sense, that like, he doesn't come to our meetings anymore. Like, after that interaction, like, he stopped coming, but then he would come. He started coming again, but he was in the cuartito, and then he would leave right after.
Right after.
And I was like, dude, you broke his heart. And she was like, I don't care, I don't want him.
How old? Like, how old was she at that time?
Oh man, when I had met her, I think she was. I think she had freshly like graduated high school.
So she was 18.
I think so.
Ugh, no, baby. Yeah, he was always trying to go after somebody younger, and like, somebody finally did, and they got caught.
And then he added, years ago, he added my little sister on Snapchat, and he hit her up, but she knew better, and she was like, I'm not speaking to you.
Good for you.
Yeah.
No, like, he was just like, he could look, he's this short pasty, he's this short brown Hispanic. Like, there's nothing attractive about him. He's skinny as hell. There's nothing about him that screams sexy.
Mm-mm.
Not his personality.
His grill's all messed up.
Yeah, like, exactly how I feel. Like, nothing about him ever screams sexy.
No, and then like, he was so annoying at parties because like, you could tell he would try too hard, and he would be like jumping around and dancing all crazy, like trying to have all the attention on him. And my dad would always call him like the Mexican jumping bean.
Yeah, the jumping bean.
Yeah, the jumping bean.
Oh my god, ew.
No, he was so he's one of them from 2014 that I have not seen either.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, I've seen him with my friend neighbor.
Like I had him on Snapchat at one point, and I was trying to be nice to him still, and he was being such an asshole to me, and he was like, why are you talking to me? And I was like, because I was the only one nice to you. And he was like, oh yeah, you're right. I took him off after that. I was like, fuck you, dude. I was like, you cry because you don't have any friends, and then you're gonna treat me like this?
He still probably doesn't have any friends. And I knew that he was trying to be like a manager at a restaurant, and I think he got fired or something like that.
For real?
I can't remember why, but I remember that he was like posting that he's a manager or something like that, and then like
and then the very next day, I got laid off, you guys.
I was trying to hit up the 12-year-olds there, and they just weren't.
Oh, I'm gonna vomit, dude.
Oh, your turn. Do you have another one or no?
I think for me, it's just like, it's because I kind of want to talk about like the whole little Andrew Tate clan.
Oh.
Yeah.
But there's like so much with each and every one of them.
I know, but the one that sticks out to me the most is because I
Don't do my baby daddy like that.
Ew.
I have the biggest crush on him.
Okay, I only was like, and I'm doing air bunnies, you guys, okay? Just in case anybody hears this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was only like, quote unquote, attracted to him because out of the entire group, he was the only one that had the nicest body.
Yeah.
But he, but even then, he didn't work out properly, so he didn't work out his lower body. So he had the body of a potato chip. like
Like a Dorito,
yeah, like a Dorito chip, yeah.
No, that's what we call. You're gonna have to believe out this person's name. My sister says like if you hold up the Dorito to this guy's body like back in his prime, he literally looked like a Dorito. And
yeah,
he kind of had like bigger lats and like the skinny like Superman like
waist,
like
yeah.
Like oh.
Oh my god.
He married now, but like damn. I mean, all of them are married now.
T on him too, but hold on. So with this guy, I remember meeting him the first time because that's when I was still friends with like all them.
Mm-hmm.
So we were all in like a little circle talking, and then he shows up out of nowhere, and he shows up out of nowhere, and he's just like mad dogging me, looking at me weird, and I was like, "This is the first time I meet you, dog. Like, what are you doing?" And then throughout the entire meeting, he was looking at me weird, and I was like, "Do you want me?" I was like, "Cause I don't want you." Cause I'm telling you guys this right now. Even though he had the nicest body, that face card declined.
Yeah.
24/7. I'm not lying to you. He looked like the zebra from Madagascar.
Shut up! No, he kind of did.
He did because like this area was just like out. Like he had the face of a zebra.
The funny part is that he didn't look anything like his sister. Like I was really cool with his sister at one point.
Yeah, I was too.
And she was pretty.
And
She didn't
really
like.
cool.
She was pale, and again, this guy was tall, dark hair, tan skin, and she was like this short little like pale lady. Like she didn't look anything like him. I didn't think that they were related. The first time I ever met him, it's actually kind of like a funny story. We were at a party and I was with the sister, right? And I heard somebody knocking and I was inside, so I opened the door and he's like, is here? And I was like, who are you? And he was like, I'm just looking for and I was like, okay, well, stay right here, right? And it was a party, like I didn't tell him to come in. And I was like, he's looking for you. He's like, she was like, who? Oh, you have to be about that. Excuse me.
Oh no, that's fine.
I was like, you have to. I was like, somebody's looking for you. She's like, who? And I'm like, I don't know. And then I was like, some delivery boy. Right? Here's where the joke started. So then like she comes and she goes to the door. She's like, oh, this is my brother. Blah 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 blah. She's like the delivery boy, and he starts laughing. He's like, what do you mean? Like she's like, she calls you the delivery boy. So from ever since then, you can post the nickname. I don't think anybody will remember. Hopefully not. From that moment forward, everybody knew him as Pizza Boy, or at least like I.
Is that where it came from?
It came from me.
Oh
it came from me. Everybody called him Pizza Boy because I called him Delivery Boy, so I called him Pizza Boy from there on. So I was like, oh, it's Pizza Boy, aka his brother. Excuse me, if anybody tries to take credit for that, that was me. I was the OG who gave him that thing, and his sister thought it was the funniest thing ever. So that's the first time that I met him. And from then on, it was like love at first sight. No, he was nicer than everybody else, so that's why I thought.
Not towards me.
He was nice to me.
Well, I feel like because like since he was like how we were talking about the other guy, he was a very try hard. He wanted to fit into that Andrew Tate group, but again, they all hated him, and like yeah, they would invite him, but they would talk so much mess about him. And I remember like because they all hated me because they were very homophobic towards me. So then he started doing it to me, and I was like, fool, I don't even know you. And then one time, me, my older brother, her, and him, and I think someone else, we all went to go see a movie. I can't even remember what movie it was. But he was trying to talk to me, and I was just ignoring him. I was like, get away from me.
You're like,
and then I heard from, I think his sister, was that she was like, oh, yeah, like, my brother was telling me, like, I feel like Adam doesn't like me. Like, I try to talk to him, and he either keeps it short or he doesn't say anything. And I'm like, well, what do you expect? I'm like, you have so much hatred towards me for no reason. Only because you were trying to fit into that group. And now you think I'm going to be like, oh my God, hi.
No, he was like the nicer one because typically, again, like I was younger, a lot younger. I wasn't in my teens. These guys were in their teens or like about to be 18, basically. Like they were driving and whatnot. Like they were older than me. I just remember like this one time when I went preaching with his sister. I was at her house. I was always at her house. I really liked her. Like I'm so sad that she ever left. Like she didn't leave like the congregation. She's still a Jehovah's Witness, but she just left like our meeting. But this was like years later. So I was at her house and we were gonna go eat like breakfast or something like that. I couldn't remember. So she was just grabbing something or she was changing her clothes. I couldn't remember. I'm in the sala. And all I hear is a door open. So I look to my right, and I just see him in all his glory. And boxers and boxers, but with hearts on them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my God. I was like 11, 12. I don't know how. I was young. And I was just like, oh my God. And he had no shame. He walked out. He was like, oh, hi, Ashley. And then his sister was like, go put on some clothes. And he's like, well, it's just Ashley. And I was like,
oh, so you don't see me that way, okay.
I was like, what do you mean it's just me?
What do you mean it's just me?
And he was like, and then she told him like, oh, we're going to go eat breakfast. You want to come eat breakfast with us? And I can't remember if he went or not. I was just delusional. I was like, oh, this man wants me. He came out here naked for me. Like, I was so delusional. And then like, I was also there the day that he left Vegas. Fun fact. I don't know if I ever said that. I was there the day that he left. I was there with his sister. I was saying bye to him and I hugged him and was like, bye. I'll always miss you.
Stupid.
And he just looked at me and he was like, okay. And then he like unhugged me and then he like dipped in his car. And his sister was looking at me like, what the hell was that? And I was like, I'll always miss you, Pookie. And like he literally got married like 3 months after he left Vegas or something like that.
Not because he met her here and then they moved to like Texas now.
Oh,
and
I don't even know.
The tea I have about that, but it's not even tea. It's just like it's funny, like just to show you how idiotic he is. Mm-hmm. Is that when he was looking up because he was gonna transfer like jobs? Because one thing you guys should know about this whole Andrew Tate group is that they literally just liked each other's dicks. They, when all of the, and he was such a follower, all of them had Mustangs, so he got a Mustang. Mm-hmm. And they either worked at the bank or at a dealership, and he got a job at the bank.
They always worked. They all worked at the bank at one point.
Yeah, they all worked at the bank at one point. So then, he was getting, I believe he was getting the transfer from the one here in Vegas to the one in Texas. Because it's Texas where they moved, right?
I think so.
And I heard it from your cousin.
Excuse me.
That she was telling me like he was shocked that he wasn't gonna make the same amount of money, and I was like, they pay you differently in every state, right?
Yeah.
I was like, you're already married and you're moving and you don't even know this. I was like, okay.
Well, the tea after that is like, so he got married to this like gorgeous girl.
Yeah, she was really pretty.
She was like pretty. I didn't even know where she was from. Like what part of because she was also a part of the congregation, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know what congregation. I don't know anything about her really, which is funny, right? Because I don't really know her like at all, like anything about her. That like he got married only to just come back to Vegas and start cheating on her. Yeah. He cheated on her like multiple times. Mm-hmm. He would come to Vegas just to cheat and then go back. Fun fact, they're still married and they have a kid now. Yeah. And I'm just like, I love it for you.
And even more fun fact, she knows about all this and she still stays.
Yeah, I know they told her, like, obviously somebody was going to tell her, like, because he was cheating on people who, like, it was obvious that they were going to say something. Yeah. And, like, she was like, oh, okay, whatever. And the funny part is, like, this whole, like, Ku Klux Klan of guys, some of them still work at the bank.
Do they? Who? Does he?
Yeah, he still works at the bank, you know?
I didn't know that.
Like, I could have sworn just, like, last year, like, because he used to work at the bank right here where I live at. He worked there for years.
The Wells Fargo?
Yeah, the one right here. Oh. He worked there for years. We always saw his Jeep there all the time. Because if it wasn't Mustangs, it was then a Jeep.
Well, he got the Jeep because his girl wanted a Jeep. Mm. So this is what I heard was that he literally paid off his car only to literally get a new one.
A new one?
Yeah, and it was the Jeep. And then we're like, you just paid this car off. And they're like, yeah, but, she wants me to get a Jeep. And I'm like, she has you wrapped around, dog.
Oh, well, by the way, this is the girl that we talked about in the other one where she was the one who, like, lied about her age, of course.
The Pookie Bear bitch.
The Pookie Bear, her. Oh my God, I think that it was the funniest thing ever. Well, it's not funny, but I would notice because, like, he left to have, like, a better life, I guess, like, distract himself from that group because really, in reality, like, all those guys in that group, separate, they're not terrible. Together, they're all insane. Yeah. I don't call them the Andrew Tate group for no reason. Yeah. So like when he separated from the group and he moved to Texas or wherever he went to, it was for like a better cause for himself. Girl, he came back over here and still cheated. Like, girl,
And one thing you guys should know about this religion is that, like, when you get married, that's it. Like, you're supposed to stay married
for lifers.
Yeah, but the only time you can get married is if it involves cheating or like adultery.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the thing with that is that because he's the one that cheated, he can't get remarried, but she can.
Mm-hmm.
So she could have left, but she was like, no, I'll stay.
I mean, at some point it kind of makes sense because te da tanta vergüenza.
Ooh, yeah.
At some point, and it's just like, and you know, like, because you're raised in this kind of thing, it kind of, even though you can't get separated, like, obviously from whatever the Bible says, like, it's so embarrassing to, like, go find another man and be like, yeah, I was married and he was cheating on me and now I'm finding another husband. Like, it's just...
No, yeah, I get it.
It's a little taboo for me. Like, that's how I'm like, yeah, alright.
Yeah, because then after that, they'll probably, like, deem her a whore.
Yeah.
She's, like, jumping around.
Yeah, so that's how I'm like, it's kind of hard to, like, even though, like, it's technically okay and in people's eyes, whatever... they'll still always be like, oh, pobrecita, like, they cheat on her once, they'll cheat on her again, kind of thing. Does that make sense?
No, it does, though.
So
it does,
like,
yeah. You can never win.
Yeah, I feel like he was one of the easier ones, though, because he, like, tried to stay out of trouble, but, like, it just
he was him. Yeah, he was just so easily influenced.
Yeah, all of them were.
Yeah.
Again, when they're all together, they were, like, a terrible...
Yeah, it was bad.
Like, they were, like, so macho, like, just... They rank of like desperation and hormones.
Yeah, honestly.
And the steroids. It was a lot. And it's sad to say that some of my family members were part of that group.
Oh yeah, they were.
And I'm just like, and part of the main ones, and I'm just like,
like the quote unquote leaders.
The
of
leader.
It.
Oh
yeah.
Please, you can't consider. You're gonna have to believe him. We can't consider anyone part of the leader. Who do you think the leader was in that group?
I don't know. Who would I?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't consider. Again, you're 100 that out. I wouldn't consider him a leader, but I would consider him like one of the top 3.
The top 3, yeah, or maybe even like one of the guys. Yeah.
I want to say also on top of that probably would.
Really?
Because I feel like his brother brought the group together too, and then him being like attached with and all them, and then that's when came along, and the other, like, they kind of all finkled from like that tight knit group, and then it got like even a little bigger after that.
And then they all talked about me.
No, and like the funny part is like every time I ever saw them, because again I never really hung out with this group, I just saw them because of my family. Anytime I met like any of them, like let's say they had dinners or whatever, and they're at my family's house, like my other family member's house, they'd be like, oh my god, you're so tall and this and that, like, oh, I can't believe your family members with so and so, like, you guys don't look anything alike. Well, we're family, but we're not like sisters. We're not brothers, we're not twins.
Yeah.
Like, you guys don't look anything alike like these people, and I'm like, well, duh. I'm like, their mom is not my mom.
Like, you're an idiot.
They're like, okay, whatever. But they'd be like, oh my god, you're so tall, and everybody else is so tiny and cute. And I'm just like, okay. That was one thing that always pissed me off. They're like, no, but they're like, you don't look like your cousins. And I'm like, well, okay.
Okay. No, what pissed me off was that, like, after they all, like, oh my god. I'm scared. No, what pissed me off was that, like, after all, like, them running their mouth about me constantly, at the end, they would all...
Apologize?
I was the bad guy in the end. Because I ignore them and I don't speak to them. Because, like, it was, like, little by little that they would all come out and be like, oh, like, I try to talk to Adam and, like, he doesn't even let himself. And I'm like, you guys didn't like me. I'm like, why would I speak to you?
That was one thing, too, that only one of them kind of said that to me, which was when he left Vegas. He was like, oh, it's so sad that, like, we never talked and whatnot. I was like, I was there the entire time. I was literally there all the time with my family members, and you were there. You came to my house a couple times. I was there. You just never said anything to me. He's like, oh, what a shame that we never got to talk to each other. Like, it would have been cool to hang out and whatnot. And I was like, what? Like, again, I was there the whole time. You, like, sometimes they treated me like a teenager or like a younger kid, and other times they just treated me like literally like a little baby. I was like, girl, I'm not that much younger than who you're hanging out with right now.
Right.
Like, literally, when me and my cousins I'm older than one of my cousins that they used to hang out with.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other one, she's only older than me by, like, what, 1 year, 2 years? And then my other one, he is older than me by 5 years. But, again, It's not much of a difference.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, it's just like, you were younger and this and that. I was like, babe, I was the same age as one of them. Like, how are you going to tell me? Like, it was just that's one thing that I never liked. That I think he was like one of two people who said that to me. Like, oh, what a shame that we never got to talk. And sorry.
I was here the whole time.
I was here the whole time.
No, and he was the one that like complained about me too, your cousin. Because she had told me, I believe in person, where she was like, oh yeah, he was telling me how like, oh, like, when Adam comes up to you, like, he says hi to you all nice and he hugs you and he's like so sweet. But when he says hi to me, like, he's so dry to me. And I'm like, me and you used to be best friends, but then you met this group and you threw me aside, and then you all started to hate me.
Literally, no one liked him. They all used to make fun of him.
Really?
Do you remember what they used to call him?
No. What?
Are we talking about the same part? Yeah. Okay. So I mean, maybe it was just me that I was rude, but you know how he was covered in like pimples.
Oh yeah.
So I used to just call him pepperoni face.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Or I was like, oh, I used to call him connect the dots. I was like, baby, because he had when he first got to the congregation, he was an ugly kid.
I mean, he was always ugly.
He still is ugly. I'm sorry.
And like, I'm not even lying. Like, he looked greasy.
Yeah, he always did. He still looks greasy. I'll show you a picture of him. He still looks greasy, homie.
Does he?
Like, he does not, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if those oil sheets never work for you. But ever since, like, I was like, why are you hanging out with these people that were so rude to you? And, like, all of a sudden you want to be fit into this, like, circle? Like, I guess.
The one thing I heard only once from his mom was that, like, he was going through, like, a really deep, deep depression, because I think that's when the group separated from him.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't want to be his friend anymore. So he was, like, sad. And she was like, you don't have to think about talking to him again? And I was like, no. I was like, when people were talking about me, he threw me aside. Mm-hmm. I was like, he wasn't a friend towards me. I was like, I don't care what he's going through.
The funny part is he never liked his mom. So the fact that his mom was out here saying stuff like that.
I know.
Like, he, like, really didn't like his mom. He, like, shoved his mom all the time. Like, not actually, like, physically.
He does still look greasy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he looks nasty, dude.
Yeah. Like, I have tea about him, too.
Tell me.
Like, okay, so this guy, the Adam's old ex-best friend, he's just also a weird fella. Like, not to throw, like, one of my family members' business out there, but he started to like one of my family members. Mm-hmm. And we all knew that he liked her. And he was significant, not significantly, but she's still younger than him by 5-6 years or something like that. So she was a minor, and he was already an adult when he's like, I'm starting to like this girl.
You look scrumptious.
Like, I mean, I get it. Like, she's delicious, but, like, can we get her to get 18? So, like, she was already an adult, but, like, barely. And my cousins have left for, like, a trip, and she had stayed home. And he decided that he wanted to go talk to her about his feelings. Oh, yeah. Nobody was home, and he wanted to decide that this was an appropriate time. Mm-hmm. So he, like, basically ambushed her, and he was like, hey, like, I want to date you, this and that, and I think that you should, like, date me. And then she told him, like, no, I've always thought of you as a brother. I grew up with you. I'm not going to date you. And, like, I guess that caused, like, issues, obviously, internally with, like, her brother and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, he was pissed.
And, like, but the thing is, like, okay, again, she's a baddie. A lot of her older brother's friends liked her. And so they would tell him, like, hey, like, I kind of have a thing for your sister. One time he got into a fist fight with one of his best friends, right? For being polite about it. He was like, hey, I want to date your sister. And he got into a fist fight with him.
With who?
But with...
Really?
Yeah, he got into a fight with and being nice about it. And he was like, hey, I like your sister. I think I want to date her. Throws punches.
Oh.
But and ambushes her at her house alone. And you're not going to say nothing. You're just going to be angry.
No, I think he did tell him something, no?
I think he did, but he didn't, like, fight him. So how are you going to fight this other guy who's being polite
yeah.
and, and a gentleman, and this person literally ambushes her at her house? I never liked him from then on out. Like, I just thought it was weird. I was like, why would you do that? And, like, he still has a thing for her to this day. Mm-hmm. Don't care what anybody says, because he's unmarried. She moved. Like, her family moved, and he moved basically with her. Like, to that same site of the state.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, like, of course he's gonna move. Like, baby, let it go.
No, yeah, I heard about that, and even she was telling, because me and her were talking about it one time, and that her dad even confronted her about it. He was like, all right, because he had daddy money,
Mm-hmm.
because his dad was rich, no,
Yeah.
or like I'll go and see. So
he was well off.
Yeah, he got like inheritance from like his dad. So her dad was like, okay, putting the money aside, what is something that he can like contribute to you? And she was like, nothing.
But she never liked him. She wouldn't even consider dating him, even with the money.
I would have shot myself.
No.
What
I get it. Again, she's a baddie, but like, why would you think that she would ever go for you? I'm sorry, but like, you grew up with her and you think ambushing her was the best thing, and then after she says that, and you're still gonna be delusional, is kind of insane work to me.
I know, he would not let her go.
No.
He was like, no, I need her. And everybody was like, she doesn't see you that way.
And like, who we wanted her to end up with, well, he's married. And it's just like, and she's not with anybody now, that I know of. I don't know. And I'm just like, we always think about it, and we always look back and be like, wow, we used to ship you and this person so hard. And like, the older you get, the more you realize that no matter how hard you ship to people, they're just not ever gonna work out.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of like heart like wrenching almost.
But didn't they like try?
Yeah, they tried. Kind of. Okay, here's the thing: the guy that like we wanted him for, like for her, he's just like the complete opposite of her. Like, she's really adventurous. She's not like the most like social person, but she's just like adventurous. She likes to dance. She likes to go out to drink a little bit, kind of dance. He wasn't like that at all. Like, he liked the gym. He kind of like stayed a little bit more quiet.
He was vanilla.
Sure, like opposites attract. Like, there was just,
it was too much opposite.
he was a little vanilla for her, and she just needs a little. She needs a little bit of coffee in her, a little bit of coffee in her milk, just like a little bit. So I'm just like, it was like, for me, I always thought it was sad, because I was like, oh, we wanted you to be with him so bad. Like, me and my mom used to ship them all the time, and then when we found out he was getting married, I was like, to her? And they were like, no, to this girl. And I was like, who is this girl? Who are you? What are you doing here? And like, obviously he's married now, hopefully happily married and whatnot, but I just, like, just delusions.
Yeah.
And this is not even me. Like, this is how hard I shifted, that I was like, oh, like, I was just like, I wanted that to happen so bad.
But when you think about it, do you think they would have lasted?
No. No. Oh, no. And then I saw another one of my older cousin's friends, and he was, oh my God, he was perfect for her, but he also got married after, like, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you remember him. You weren't at my cousin's wedding, so you can't remember him. He wasn't a JW. He was like a white guy.
Green eyes. We used to follow each other. He was fine.
He was scrumptious.
He was fine. I didn't know he got married.
Yeah, he got married.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I asked her, and I was like, so what about him? Like, what's it to him? And she was like, oh, he just got married. And I was like, no! No! What she told me was like, I had time. Oh, he was so fine. He was another perfect match.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, he had money. He was handsome.
But she didn't want to meet her, huh? Or did she?
I don't think so. The thing is, like, with her, I think she just wants he was a hardworking man, but I think she wants somebody hardworking.
Well, it's because, to put into perspective, she's a Virgo, so she needs a man that's gonna like overly dominate her.
Yeah.
Because she has a lot of top.
Because she's a boss. Like,
yeah.
she is not gonna like lay down her foot for anybody, and she's not gonna bend the knee for anybody. So like, she needed a man to just like tussle her.
Oh my God.
And like, I thought that the
just
green eyes guy,
rip her undies off.
right? I thought the green eyes guy was gonna be that for her, but no, the other guy, the more docile one, he was never gonna do that for her. It was gonna be one position for the rest of the life, and she was gonna kill herself.
No.
So,
oh my God.
like, just because you got the body does not mean nothing. Like, again, another guy who had a good, decent body. I mean, he still works out, I think.
I haven't seen him.
I haven't seen him in forever either.
I don't see anybody anymore.
Like, she didn't even go to his wedding.
No?
No, she didn't go to his wedding.
Was she invited?
Yeah, but she didn't go, and she was here in town.
Well, I mean, every time she's here in town, like, if she's listening to this, and I hope you are, she's always here in town. She's like, Adam, I want to see you. Leaves me hanging every single time.
If you're listening to this, I love you. Please don't kill me for telling your story. Like, but I'm telling these people that you're a baddie. Like no one deserves you.
I think the last time I saw her was just for your sister's wedding.
Mm-hmm. And she was a baddie. She still was a baddie. So was my other cousin.
Was that it? No.
Baddie.
No, because I told you I saw her then, and then I randomly ran into them with my ex when we went to Enchant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yup. I remember that. I remember you telling me that. Yeah, and I'm like, but every time she's in town, she never has time. But I was like, I think she could have had time because I asked her what she was doing that day, and I think she told me she wasn't doing anything.
She was like, I don't have time for him.
Yeah, I don't have time for him. Like, I don't know. Like, the fact that I wasn't invited to his wedding, if you're hearing this, mister, I think you know who you are. Why wasn't I invited?
I wasn't invited to anybody's either. Even, like, the one person the one wedding... Oh, damn, sorry. The one wedding that it did surprise me that I didn't get invited to because I was really cool with him.
Who?
Was,
Oh, the black guy?
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't invited to
me
that one either.
Me and him were really cool, and that was the only one where I was like, okay.
See, okay, I like him. I like his personality. I think he's a really sweet guy. The one thing is, though, like, I hate when people try to relate to me when they're no longer that anymore. Because you remember how when he first started going to, like, meetings, he was, like, this punk, rocky dude, black nail. Like, he was so cool. And, like, when he sees me sometimes, like, in my attire that I'm also, like, punk, rocky, gothy, he's like, oh, I remember when I used to dress like that. He's like, don't worry, like, you'll kind of get over it. And I'm like, excuse me? I'm just like, just because you stop being cool and drippy does not mean I'm going to stop being cool and drippy. I will always be black-hearted, always. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I'm like, just because you lost your charismatic does not mean I will. Like, that's why I don't like it when people are like, oh, I remember when I used to dress like that. Like, okay, you still can. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I guess just dress more moderate, but, like, more, like, goth office than anything, but...
Corporate goth.
Just siren goth.
Oh, my God. We're so off topic, but... But I think that's the tea that I have. I don't really have...
I have more, but I feel like that would be, like, a separate one, too.
Yeah, because we're already about to hit 50.
Oh, wow, for real?
Yeah, it's 46.
Oh, my God.
I know, because we talked about this, me and you could yap. We could yap.
We really
have.
have. And the fact is also, like, the fact that we have to censor this and that I can't say a lot of things, too, also to, like, respect a little bit more privacy from these people. I'm like, if this would be a lot, like, if this was unfiltered and uncensored, baby.
if I didn't have the fear of getting sued again.
Yeah, no, that, or if I didn't have the fear of somebody actually getting upset. Like, I mean, the only people that I can think of that would get is, like, my family members. And, again, Pookie, I'm sorry, I love you. I will take you out to dinner. But, like, besides that, I'm like, I don't really care about the repercussions of everybody else. Like, if you still worry about that, it's because maybe you live in the past.
Or you're probably still doing it. Oh. Hey, chew up with that one.
Oh. Left speechless. Left speechless. Okay, so I guess it'll be the end of further part 2.
Yeah, so we'll see how many parts we could go into it. Because I know Ashley has a lot of tea, but me, I have to really think about stuff. But I think that's all I really have.
But you said 2014 to 2016 was a crazy year. I need more.
It's because, girl, that was almost 10 years ago already.
It was 10 years ago. 2014 was 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was 10 years ago. So
it'll be 11.
So I'm trying to... I really can't remember a lot. But I just remember it being, like, a wild
Wow, that's crazy. In 2014, I was 10.
Were you? I just graduated, so I was 18.
Oh, my goodness. When are we old? Maybe, like, I was 10.
I was 10. I'm like, I was already hitting
I was already an adult man.
I was deep in my drinking era.
Oh, excuse me. Please leave that in.
Oh, I am. And mine too. I'm leaving mine too. Okay, well, before we end today's episode, this is going to come out on, I believe, New Year's. So, yeah. Because we literally only have, like, 2 more weeks left, I think.
Oh. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's, you guys. Hopefully you guys had a good New Year's. You guys were safe. You guys had fun.
I hope this year was everything that you hoped for.
Man, I started off this new year in a bad relationship. And then I ended it with this fuck-ass person. So that's beautiful for me. But will she learn next year? We'll see. We'll see.
I started this year with no relationship. And I'm ending this year with no relationship. Well, that's because that's how I like it. I mean, there might be a prospect, But like I tried to keep that to myself until it's more serious because
Yeah.
I always feel like the minute that you say something is a minute that it goes to hell.
Yeah, exactly.
So I ended it single. I'm ending single. You know.
I need to stay single.
If one of you guys, no, I'm just kidding. No, no.
No, please stay away from me. I'm tired of this.
Please stay away from me. Thank you.
Because I give some of you a chance and then you guys just don't know how to act.
No.
Or you're literally like him, 35 and trauma riddled. Just riddled with trauma and like you don't even know.
I mean, I feel like when you're still in your 20s, you still have, you know, you're 20.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like once you hit 30, babe, I need you to figure it out a little bit more.
No, for real, yeah.
Because then you're going to be 40, then 50. Imagine
and
being 50 with 20-year-old problems.
At your fossil age, acting like that.
Baby, you're fossil fuel already. Like, we're just waiting for you to kick the bucket.
I know, I need you to get it together. So, yes, next year manifest that I'm 2 months away from being a year at this new hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Please manifest for me that I become full-time so I don't have to work 2 jobs.
We're manifesting money,
abundance,
self-love,
exactly, healing.
I'm not gonna say good relationships because I feel like we don't need that right now. I feel like we just need to heal in ourselves.
I'm literally good relationships is with me, you, and like
yeah.
literally my other 2 friends that I only hang out with, which I could say their names: me, you, Emily, and Isabel.
Yeah,
the only people that I hang out with.
You and my Pookie Haley. Literally,
yeah,
that's it.
The only people that I hang out
I have
with.
less friends than that.
Or if he's listening, I guess my Pookie Trey.
Oh my god.
The only other person that I hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
On Thursdays only.
For he's Boozy only Bingo. My Thursday man.
For Boozy being my Thursday man.
He's my Thursday man.
But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this year. Hopefully you guys learned and grew and whatever needed to happen, and you know, bring that into the new year as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how fast this year went by.
Yeah, it did. I'm glad that it's over though.
Yeah,
I kind of just want something new, but no, that's not gonna.
I mean, I'm just ready. I don't know. I guess next year I wanna have like a fresh start, as in the aspect of like I'm not gonna download any of the apps, and if I will, I'm gonna literally call you and be like, Ashley, I'm down bad.
I'll be like, please don't do it.
Please don't do it. And then today, I mean, I'll talk about it more later, but today I finally sent the email to start going to therapy.
Oh, okay.
With the one that I told you about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just have to hear back from them, and we'll see how that goes.
Well, yeah. The new year, we're setting off to a good new year.
Mm-hmm. Good vibes, good relationships, platonic relationships. I don't want any of you bothering me.
No, it's me. A new year, me and Adam are getting together.
For real, pregnant.
Oh my god! Whoa!
You said whoa.
Whoa.
Anyway, you guys, thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this and to hear us and to keep up with us. Are we gonna be consistent next year? Probably not.
No.
I haven't even uploaded anything for my own, so.
Well,
these episodes are gonna come when they come.
When they come.
But again, hopefully you guys enjoyed your new year. Be safe. If you're gonna get drunk, please Uber. I'm not picking you up, but Uber.
Yeah.
Yeah, Uber. And we will catch all of you in the next year.
Bye.
Deuces.